Hey guys, welcome to Crack It with SRites Season 4. This is me Shivam Khandelwal.
And I'm Nikon Sarda, and today we have Vatsal Agarwal with us.
He's someone who has achieved all those things that a college student aspires for. From great academics to top-notch society.
To acing professional examinations to getting a dream placement, he has done it all. It's an honor to have you with us today.
Thank you for having me here.
First of all, Bhaiya, heartiest congratulations for getting placed into JP Morgan Chase and Company. JP Morgan is one company that almost all finance enthusiasts aspire for, and you've hit the jackpot. So with us, would you please tell us your journey where you realized that you have a knack for finance?
Okay, so firstly, I would like to appreciate Placement Cell for beginning with this initiative. It's quite enriching. So my knack for finance actually started in school. I think so because I had some kind of conversations with my dad with regards to how companies are performing and how the share markets is working overall. So it started from there, and after that actually I developed an interest into how the companies perform and to see that how the entire system works per se. So this was the beginning of my financial bend of mind, and after that I think a number of things played a role which attracted my interest towards this profile. So firstly, I am a person who actually takes information in detail about a particular field and then gets into that. So that's what I did with finance as a career option. So I started with researching about what are the options available for me. So I talked to a number of seniors, a number of relatives who are into this field, and I got to know that what are the different career opportunities and what are the available courses which are feasible to do, and what can I do as an individual so that I can get into and prosper in this field. So overall, I think that these medium played a role towards attracting my interest in finance, and as a field, finance attracts me because that is so this involves calculations, and I am a person who loves numbers. So that's why I used to love mathematics in school also. So this was my story that I had a tryst with 99 in maths because so I got 99 in maths in all my examinations in class 11 and 12. Oh. So you can take that as a blessing and also as a thing. So that's why I think that my financial bend of knowledge was because of my calculative mind and also because of my father's interactions.
That's great. Today in college as well, there are many students who are interested in finance, but they're not aware as to which courses to choose in the professional field or the normal courses that are available online as well, because there's a large pool of courses that are available. Yeah. So how does one go about choosing such courses that are available, and what are the career options that one has while choosing finance as a career option?
Okay. So firstly, I would like to highlight that it's not necessary to do an additional course in finance or any certification course per se. So it's only about the knowledge set that you have. So people do these courses just to enhance their knowledge set. At least I do for that purpose. Because I don't want 2 letters or 3 letters in my profile naming CA or CFA just for the sake of doing it. So I prefer gaining knowledge, and if in the process you get a degree or a certification course, that's fine. So as a senior, I would like to suggest the juniors that there are a number of courses available in finance. Obviously, it will be confusing in the beginning that which course would you select, but you need to identify your interest first. So how do you do that? So I would suggest adopting my method. So I think that worked for me well. First, research about it in detail, ask your seniors and ask the people in that field, so that you get to know that what are the relevant courses and what is the relevant knowledge set that you need in that particular field. Secondly, if you get to know about the available fields, shortlist them. So shortlist them on the basis of their feasibility, your ability to do them and your interest, and whether that will be possible with college or after college. So rank the courses according to that. So available courses or available fields or the careers in finance. So I would like to divide this into 2 segments. First will be your masters and other certification courses, and secondly I would like to talk about job or placements for that matter. So talking about the certification courses first. So there are a number of certification courses like CFA, FRM, CAIA. So that deals with different segments of finance. So for example, CAIA deals with alternative investment. But CFA as a whole deals with the entire finance curriculum. So the CFA curriculum is designed in such a manner that there are 10 subjects, and that gives you knowledge for the entire finance field that you need, like as a financial enthusiast. So that is why I think CFA as a degree is quite full of knowledge, because you get the knowledge of 10 subjects in one degree, and that too which is not so rigorous as CA. So in CA, yes, there is a rigorous course of study because that involves 3 years of articleship as well, and it involves a number of years of preparation for the exam. So CA as a career option is very good. So the knowledge of CAs is immense and they are respected in the society. But at the same time, that takes time. So I would like to come to this later, that why I did IPCC and what CA is as a career further. So moving on from other certification courses, I think, so certification courses from online websites like Udemy, Coursera, that works, or NCFA modules. So that works if you do that for the purpose of gaining knowledge. And so because these courses, these modules are designed in such a manner that you get knowledge of a particular subject in detail, and simultaneously you are being tested on it. So that is why I think that these modules are comprehensive, so that you get to know the knowledge part also, and you are tested simultaneously. So so these are the certification courses which are available. Talking about masters, so in finance, so there is masters in finance available in India as well as abroad. But in India, it's not well known. But in abroad, masters in finance is quite attractive. So I think that is a field that one can get into. But the question arises, why masters in finance if you have MBA to do? So that depends on your preference as a career option. So masters in finance will give you a depth of knowledge in finance, but as an MBA you will get a knowledge in the variety of fields, among which finance will be your major. So MBA will actually equip you to gain a managerial role. So if you want to get into a CEO seat, or as a company's chairman for that matter, so MBA will help you do that. And that is why I say that if you want to actually get from the first floor to the 20th floor of a building, first floor is reached when you have done your undergraduation, but the 20th floor shoot is given by a master's course, and especially MBA or UPSC for that matter. So because these courses actually give you the kind of knowledge set which is required for obtaining a managerial role. So that is why these are important. And with regards to the careers in terms of placements, I think we can divide that into buy side and sell side analysts. So a buy side will involve where you actually work for companies who prepare reports to, like, who use the prepared reports to buy the securities from the market. And sell side analysts are those who prepare those reports. So among sell side analysts, there's investment banking, commercial banking, and among buy side, you work as an asset manager or private wealth management. So these are different career options which you have. Obviously, these might seem jargon to you now. I would suggest look up on Google, find these terms, and get to know where your interest lies.
So, as you had prepared for both finance and consulting companies, were there any parallels that can be drawn between the two streams' preparation?
Yeah, there are a number of common points involved in both the streams' preparation. So firstly, it is your logical bend of mind, because that is tested in all the placement interviews and even the society interviews for that matter.
Yeah.
So the logical bend of mind is tested. How? That is done through guesstimates or through questions that questions like brain teasers or random questions which involve thinking, and simultaneously you need to interact with the interviewer also. So this involves both your communication skill as well as your thinking skill. So how you think and speak. So that is why that is tested in all the placement interviews. Secondly, I think your holistic knowledge in terms of your interview is tested. So this happens in consulting. where you can be given a case randomly from any industry. And to answer it well, you need to have a basic knowledge of how that industry works. So, for example, in my interview, I was given a case on the steel industry. And I was supposed to know that how the revenue and the cost patterns work for a steel industry. And even for the JP Morgan interview. So, there are a number of industry specifics which you need to know. Not a particular detail about any industry, but in general that what that industry is about and how is that working. So that is important from the interview perspective. Also, I think the point which distincts both finance and consulting is the depth and the breadth of knowledge. So finance involves depth of knowledge in finance because you need to have that calculative mind and you need to be good at number crunching. And in consulting, you need to have a breadth of knowledge which involves a knowledge set involving many industries, as I said. And simultaneously, number crunching is not that important in consulting. Like approximation will do. There is room for approximation. So this is the main difference or the parallels which we can draw between both.
So now, as you've cleared IPCC and have also held positions in the placement cell, the economic society, and were also pursuing a CFA at the same time, and also maintaining such a wonderful GPA. So what was the source of motivation that drove you?
Okay, so this is quite tough. So my father always says that whatever you do it well. So that is why that has been my motto since the beginning, because whatever I get involved in, I do that to the fullest. And be it whatever it takes, be it reducing my hours of sleep or even keeping aloof from my group or the college and leaving my social life for a particular period of time, I can do that because if the other thing is actually rewarding and if it involves too much time, I am ready to do that. So that is why everything actually fell into place automatically if you get this thinking, and because of which I think everything worked out well. So touch wood, I think that it will go on well in future also. But like as a suggestion to the juniors, what I would think is that it's important is first think about what you are going to do in future. Like it's quite difficult to decide now, but get an approximate figuring out of what you want to be in future, so that you can actually design your profile as per that from the beginning. So obviously college life is important, your societies are important, your CGPA is the most important thing, and that's the most underrated thing in college because people don't value your CGPA. But I think CGPA is the most valuable thing because that helps in your future studies also, and that plays in your interviews in IIMs and other MBA colleges also. So CGPA is important. Also, in the process of gaining knowledge, if you get any degree, an additional degree, that's an icing on the cake.
Now, one more thing, people quite often pursue courses like CFA and IPC that like you are pursuing, but many of the things that are involved in these courses are, most of the things are covered in BCom honors course. So why do people still pursue these courses?
So, as I said, that gaining knowledge set is important. BCom will provide you that knowledge set of that particular subject, but not in depth. So, for example, if I talk about financial management in BCom versus financial management in CA, IPCC, that's quite different. So, subjects are same, but the depth of knowledge in IPCC is far more than what was taught us in BCom. And especially, so talking about my case, why I did IPCC was that I didn't want to pursue CA as a career from the beginning, because I am that kind of person who doesn't prefer working so much. So getting 3 years of articleship after 3 years of BCom in SRCC, I think that would have been detrimental to my profile, and also that involves quite a rigorous efforts from my side, and I would prefer doing MBA instead. So IPCC was done for the purpose of gaining knowledge, and that is what I prefer. That if you go about from this bend of mind, that is good. And talking about why pursuing these courses if you have BCom, I think that SRCC gives you sufficient time to pursue anything else apart from that. Not being these courses, or you can do certification courses also, or also our college has started value-added courses too. So doing these will actually keep you involved and simultaneously will provide you a, a particular path to think of. So you will get to know that what can you do in future if you get involved in something. So what I think is that if you have free time and if you have available relevant material to study, then why not go for it and just explore that what is there for you in the future.
So, what according to you is more essential? The degree of for placements, what is more essential? The degree of involvement in the college societies or the GPA?
Okay. So I think a sufficient blend of both is necessary, because college societies actually help you improve your interpersonal skills, your soft skills, and that is important. Because overall, if you see that if you only get involved in BCom as a degree and don't participate in any other thing, I don't think you will be taking advantage of SRCC in that case, because college societies are the medium through which you get to know seniors, you get to interact with juniors, and you get to know outsiders also. Here, you actually organize a fest of that scale where you procure funds and ensure that how you actually allocate the funds in making the fest success, and simultaneously you organize all the activities of your societies. So I think getting involved in societies is important, and that's quite mandatory. I would not use the word mandatory, but preferable if you want to actually work on your personality as a whole, because that actually makes you evolve as a person. Maintaining CGPA is important, as I said, because that is important for your further studies, because that highlights everywhere where you go further to study, and also awards from Delhi University with regards to your CGPA also plays a major role in your profile. And personally, I think that maintaining a good CGPA is easy in BCom SRCC at least, because your internals or the externals, they are not that engrossing or rigorous, or they don't test so deeply. So an average student can score well here. That's my take.
So yeah, lastly, what I believe is that every person has some kind of self-governing guidelines or mantra in their life. Alright. So what would it be in 3 words?
Okay, that's difficult. So firstly, I would say hard work, enjoyment, and perseverance. So I would explain each one of these. Hard work. So don't confuse this with the debate of hard work versus smart work. I'm talking about hard work here. So because if you are involved in something, give your everything in that. That's what I prefer. And hard work would need your time for that thing and your interest. So this is where enjoyment comes into place, where you enjoy what you are studying. And that is important, because if you work like a robot and you just do that thing for the sake of doing it, that doesn't reap a benefit out of it. If you won't enjoy what you're doing, then leave it. Then just enjoy the college life at least, and not destroy your college life by involving into that. Perseverance is important, because there will be times where you will face failure, or where you will think that I am not enjoying, others are enjoying, and this is the time to actually hold back and just look at the future, that if you actually do this, then where will this take you? So I'm talking about my perspective, because this was my phase in IPCC where I actually thought that what am I doing? That I'm not able to enjoy with my friends, I'm only into books. But then I saw that there is something good for me later. So with this thinking, I actually worked on my IPCC, worked on throughout the first 2 years of college, and here I am with you. So that is why I think this mantra worked for me well throughout.
It was great having you here. Thank you for coming here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.